Prepare for the big baby that is 2024. It's time for Must Have Seen TV, the podcast dedicated to the sitcoms of the 20th century. From I Love Lucy to News Radio, I am your host, Ms. Barbara Hardley. And by my side is the young baby to my old woman in a black gown with a veil, just with almost 2 feet in the grave, with a 2023 sash over my boob. Ethan K.
Hello, Barb. That was very
Ha!
evocative.
Oh, I know, and I just went all in.
It's let's talk about 2023 and 2024 using funerary art as a touch point.
Well, isn't that, it's like the new baby and like an old person, and the old person's getting like shoved in a grave usually or something. I
I've
don't know.
never seen it shoved in a grave. I always just
Maybe
see it
not
as the
shoved in
old
a grave.
man. It's the old man with he's wearing some robe or something and a big beard because he's grown for 12 years,
Oh,
12 months.
yeah, he's 12 months.
I don't know. I haven't really seen someone is standing in a grave
Yeah, I
before.
was describing like Miss Havisham or some shit. Um but yeah, it is the end of the year. And I have decided to go all out. I will do my standing thing for people that are watching via YouTube
There
because
she
I
is,
am
Miss
proud. Oh my god.
America.
I need like a horizontal. I'll just go.
Camera is moving for you
The
folks,
camera's
folks at
moving
home.
because oh my god, now my chair's just in the way.
Barb is wearing a purple gown,
Well,
one
no, it is
strap.
not a gown, baby.
Oh,
We are
no,
we
it
are
is
rocking. I'm showing off leg for the first time in a long time.
a
Oh god.
cocktail dress
And some heels, baby.
and some heels.
Whatever. I'll be posting pictures. I can't really seem to get a good angle.
Be
But
sure to
whatever.
follow Barb on Instagram and Twitter
Yeah. Well, not
and
Twitter.
Facebook. Not Twitter anymore.
Just Instagram and YouTube for Barb Hardley content.
All the best Barb Hardley content on the internet comes
Aside from
directly
this.
from Barb Hardley herself. Accept no imitations.
Just watch me style my hair on air, whatever.
It's a very big wig, and you're very sparkly. There's a lot
I
of
know
sparkles today.
this is the New Year's look. I'm a New Year's ball. That's what they're called, right? A big old New Year's ball. But anyway, it has been a long time. So we meant to do another Christmas episode,
Yeah.
but December's insane.
Yeah, I really do wish that we could get on a more reliable schedule, but the problem is it is just the two of us doing this. We don't have a producer, we don't have an editor, and things get extremely busy sometimes. And specifically in December, I have to apologize. All it takes is for people at my advertising agency to go out on vacation or go out to Chile for 2 weeks to work on a
Oh,
commercial shoot. And suddenly I'm in charge of everything and responsible for everything. And here I
oh,
am working until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Um, and my soul has left my body through my mouth and nose. So the
that
whole
sounds
point
like
of,
fun to me.
well, it can be fun if you dissociate, but I'm not
Uh,
really good at dissociating. Not as
I
well
just
as
like
some.
the being in charge part. That's where I'm wishing.
It's a lot of people asking you where are specific things? What are you doing with this thing? Who's working on this? And you're just kind of like, I need answers. And my God, it is so hard to provide all of those answers on cue. My job is tough, but you know what? There are people out there who have much harder jobs than I do, and I should not complain. Good on you for doing the work that you do, because every job has something in it that is difficult, and good on you for overcoming it. We're
Yes,
working through
like
it.
if you work at concession stands at movie theaters cleaning the popcorn popper.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. Or the bins that hold the popcorn. Horrible.
It was the Conan O'Brien joke when one of his first shows was he had some model being interviewed and she said, "Oh, modeling is such hard work." And he goes, "No, it's not. Like to me, hard work is some guy turning a giant crank in a basement or something." It's true.
And I spent most of December Well, I mean, I think right after my Christmas party, I finished my holiday special, and
Yeah.
released it mid-December. So please, everyone, if you are still in the mood, I don't know, go to Barb Hardley's YouTube, look for Christmas and the Hard Luck Lady, and please watch my Christmas special, which I think is the best thing that I have ever created,
You
probably.
look so
So
happy in that too. Oh, my cat just
yeah,
jumped up.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, it's an ode to mental health and Christmas. So,
Which is like that Bob Newhart episode we just watched. An ode to
exactly.
mental health and Christmas.
So
Two
yeah, it
things that
was,
don't really go well together.
well, they one affects the other
Yeah. Seasonal
greatly.
depression meet regular depression.
Uh-huh. That's, I mean, it's all year round, baby. Oh, but no, that
Woo!
was very fulfilling, even though it was like a lot of self-imposed pressure to get it done.
You looked very
Um,
happy.
but yeah, and then it was good to get it done. My mother did watch it,
Ooh.
and we had a very earnest, honest conversation, a good one, about me being gay and a drag queen, which is the most we've ever talked about that.
Was this
In
was this a moment of growth?
Yes.
Ooh.
So we'll
Ooh.
see it, how long it lasts or whatever, but it was I mean, it was a very uh cathartic moment. This is why I'm on mental health leave, is to get this stuff
Yeah.
straightened out.
Good on you,
Uh
mate.
um but I love talking about mental health leave while I'm dressed like a 40-year-old member of Jim and the Holograms. Uh this is Barb Hardley entering the 80s is what this
Ooh.
this
A,
is.
completely different genre of sitcom.
Yeah, mostly bad, honestly.
There
Uh,
were some highlights, but
a lot too much of it is families, is cute kids and
yeah.
episode of the week, and I hate it. No, thank you. I'm trying to see what else happened. I mean, Christmas happened. I got a green screen for Christmas, which is currently folded down behind me because um it's hard setting things up when you're in a corset. I lost a nail in the process, and I was
Oh,
like, no more.
the horror, the horror.
Oh God.
Nah. Christmas for me was nice. Saw family. Had a really great time. Did a lot of cooking and helping the family with dinners and lunches. This was Megan's family. I'm going to see my family next weekend. My cousin who lives in California is flying in to visit for a couple days in Philadelphia. So Megan and I are driving down to Philadelphia, spending some time with them, and then coming back up to where my parents live, and we're going to be doing Hanukkah Christmas with my
Hmm.
sister and my parents there. So that's going to be nice.
A holiday smorgasbord.
And as
Smorgasbord.
the stuff that I got for gifts was all stuff that I wanted. It was a lot of books that I really wanted, and I don't have it with me, but I do want to shout out to Michael Kupperman, one of my favorite artists. My father-in-law bought me a print advertising Long John Silver's Pirate Sex Blimp, which is from an old comic called Snake and Bacon that I loved in college.
Ah.
And it is talking about the dangers of themed sex blimps, and how you might fall off the gangplank as you're walking out of a window to get to the sex blimp. Anyway, let's get on to the show.
Yeah, so this is kind of, we did kind of a year ender last year, which we did it live on New Year's Eve. This year we're just going to record it, release it, but we're going to, go over some things from the year, tie up some loose ends, share hopes for the new year, and probably I mean, I'll drag family affair as much as I can. I did get in a family affair dig during my Christmas special. So,
You
ha
you sent me a photo of the doll that what's her name
good.
carries.
Yeah.
That they made a doll that what's her name carries in the Family Affair show. It was that popular that they had spin-off merch because people wanted that doll.
for this show that, as far as I can tell, has no funny episodes. Has never told a joke.
It is just a
Apparently, it was a
depressing show.
drama. Apparently, it was a half-hour drama for children.
I'm trying to
Sounds
think of
fun.
what other half-hour dramas for children were this? Power Rangers?
Well, X-Men.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, oh, I don't. I mean, I would say like, what? How long? How long was Life Goes On? An hour long?
Life Goes On, I think, was an hour long.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
So
just like a half hour, like for kids, because I thought Life Goes On was more for adults.
I think that was
Was
like
it for
family
kids?
viewing, right?
Yeah,
No, I don't know. Didn't someone get AIDS on that show? Not that that's for families too, but it's a
yeah.
heavy topic for families.
I,
I don't
I
know.
read somewhere that someone's school, this was on Tumblr, someone posted that like their school did Rent, their high school did Rent, but they couldn't talk about AIDS, so the characters had diabetes.
Everybody's got beats. Oh, jeez,
Uh,
please. We have fun.
fuck
Um,
censorship.
so yeah, I wanted to
Understand
start off
artistic
with
intent.
with some listener mail that we got. That because I checked our Gmail for the first time in a month. So this is only 10 days old, so you know that's fine. But lovely, Laura Cannon. Oh God, should I say? Well, you know what? I already said the whole name, and I don't edit anything, so you know what? We're having fun. Uh,
Don't say where she's from or anything,
no,
but
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Address, full. Dear Brett and Ethan. First of all, starting by reading me a little, how could you think Frank DeCaro is the only one who would decipher your drag queen name? If this vanilla cis hetero 60-year-old ally fan got it right away, but a lot of other people did too. And I will interject to say, yeah, I probably, I guess I could say, I don't know if any Gen Xers probably millennials.
Nah.
It's dwindling down, and then all the 20-year-old twinks who watch Drag Race? Absolutely not. But RuPaul would get it, which is why I would do well.
That'd be good. Yeah, that's a
Um,
good point.
and then she continues, may I add to your Lorenzo music bio? He was also the voice of Carlton the Doorman on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Which actually, Rhoda, it was Carlton the Doorman was Rhoda. It's Rhoda's Doorman. So Lorenzo Music created Bob Newhart Show, was the voice of Garfield and Peter Venkman,
And Peter Venkman from Real Ghostbusters.
and also Carlton the Doorman on Rhoda, which is very good. Then Laura then thanked me for my Matthew Perry tribute, which says she said, wish I could time travel back to hug young Brett, and at the risk of cliche, assure you that it does get better. I mean, it does get better. Look at me now. Oh, woo, yeah.
I can say that things weren't working for you, so you changed things.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I mental health leave, baby. Got more coming. And the next thing she said was, "You mentioned your mental health leave, and I wish you quick healing." Yeah, I'm on yet another medication as well, so a whole bunch of supplements. So
Merry
you know,
Christmas.
we're having fun. We're having a
Santa
lot
put
of
some
fun.
extra in your stockings. Supplements,
I will
additional
say,
medication.
so like the new medication has made it to where I do not know. I am no longer hitting the bottom
Okay.
that I was hitting. So now I'm trying to see if I can hit the tops. Oh, gay reference. I don't know. Well, I will say I did watch the trailer for the newest trailer for Echo, the new Disney Plus series
Oh yeah.
that debuts in like a week and a half that everyone's gonna forget about. But I did spy Daredevil in it, doing like a flying kick at Echo, and I
Ooh.
screamed. I screamed in happiness. So I think I'm clawing my way out.
Okay. Completely unrelated. Was it yellow costume or was it red costume?
Well, it was in silhouette, so I mean it looked more
Oh,
all red.
okay.
So, but oh God, love. And then love the addition of Must See Now TV, which yeah, hopefully we can do more of that in the next year and spin those off into the standalone videos that go on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So those are fun.
We should do them. We should record them after we record the full
Yeah,
episode.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, while we still have it fresh in our minds.
Yeah. And then lastly, Must Have Seen TV is one of the podcasts I look forward to most. I hope
Aw.
2024 is a wonderful for you both, Barb, Seb, Megan, and all your families, born and chosen. We'll be watching for Barb's Christmas special, New Year's show question mark and book update in the new year. Love from Laura. Thank you so much. The nicest email I think we have ever gotten.
Thank you so
By far.
much. Thank you so much for that, Laura.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. And you know, it's good to know that people are out there listening, and it isn't just us performing for cats.
Yeah, for people who are watching, who are not watching on video, my cat is both purring into the microphone and whipping her tail around my face.
Oh
Um, I should have closed the door.
no, I wish mine were in here. I mean, I feel bad because like for me, like drag days are days.
Yeah, it's a
Like
full day.
it is a full day commitment. It's like usually 12 hours from when I start the process of getting into drag to when I finally am getting out of drag after recording various things. And so I feel like bad for neglecting my cats that much, but they can't be in here for
No,
this. There's too much
no,
stuff for them to mess up. I'm too gorgeous.
too
Uh,
gorgeous.
but that makes me sad. Um, and and then well, speaking of the YouTube channel, uh YouTube mailed me some year-end wrap-up stats,
Ooh,
so I can read those. We did get another comment on the Bob Newhart Christmas episode where C says Ethan singing the Nanaland meme song at the beginning,
I
crying
love it.
laughing emoji. What is that? What did you slip past me? How
Oh,
dare you? You
so
must keep me informed.
so Nanaland is a show from Canada. It's a children's program with puppets. Um, I discovered it years ago. It's still on the air, I believe, because they're still doing interviews about it. Where it's a grandmother and a granddaughter, and they're both puppets, and the granddaughter talk like this. They talking things like this, and the grandmother talks like this, and it's a very surreal show. Um, but it's called Nanaland, and check it out. It has its own cult following because it is so weird.
Okay.
And it's become a meme on TikTok because there's a video where the grandmother is playing a song, and the granddaughter walks in dressed as a little princess, and it was who's that wonderful girl? Could she be any cuter? Who's that wonderful girl? Oh, look, here comes a suitor.
Oh, so it's about me.
It's about you. You could be Nanaland's suitor. This
Mm.
adorable little looks like a pea with black eye, like a green pea with black eyes. It's really a weird puppet. But I thank you, C, for recognizing that. It's something that we've been kind of throwing around our house here as little jokes. Especially when the cats walk in into a room.
There you
Who's that wonderful girl?
go.
Yeah.
So hashtag my year on YouTube 2023,
Yes.
which I wonder. So we did get 165 new subscribers,
Oh.
which does, I mean, that's a big number for me as far.
Yeah.
Um, and because we had 29 uploads, I think like 20 episodes, and then 9, must have now TVs and miscellaneous stuff. So that's
Yep.
good. 27.9 thousand views. Now, I will couch that in. I have no idea how many thousands are the George and Leo episodes that are also a part of the channel. But you
Yeah,
know what?
they're still very popular. But I will
Yeah.
have to say that 29 uploads means that we got an average of 2 episodes per month.
Yeah.
That is, I wish it was a little bit more consistent, but we are but humble human beings.
We're a one man, one drag queen operation. So
Sometimes in drag, sometimes not in drag, but
it's a
yes.
production, baby. Oh
Yes.
God. I mean, this is a production. I like how it's like, oh, you want a podcast? I'm like, yes, give me 4 hours to do all of this. We got 332 likes. Good. 22 comments. I'm gonna say we can jack up that number. Talk to us.
And some
Compliment us.
some of those some of those comments are probably us replying to people on the videos.
Mm-hmm. And
We
then
count
95 shares, which I'm on, like, that impresses me.
too.
I mean, 95, I have no idea. I'm not notified when anything is shared. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Although
Look
maybe
at
those are
you.
all us. Who knows?
Thank you everybody for
Yeah,
sharing. Although those might be us sharing the videos
but
too.
whatever.
Yeah,
God bless us, everyone.
except for Family Affair.
Yes. So now let's look back at the year of must have seen TV and talk about we have three categories: our favorite episode that we talked about, our the worst episode we talked about, and best performance. And kick it off with our favorite episode
You
of the
go first.
year.
Your
Well,
favorite episode.
I singled out two. So the first one obviously is the Bob Newhart show I'm Dreaming of a Slight Christmas, which is maybe recency bias, but the episode itself very special to me. But then also the fact that we got to do it together.
Yeah.
I was gorgeous. I was wearing a lovely gown that I have since completely blown the back out of. That zipper did not survive another wear, but no, and it was really nice to talk about that episode and get into, like, personal stuff, holiday stuff.
And then when it was done, we got together and we played X-Men on the arcade cabinet that you have in the back. We didn't
Finally.
finish it. We didn't. We had a couple people join us, and but then we had to break the game and do something else. But I
Well,
loved playing the X-Men game.
just because previous podcast guest Jeremy Bent showed up and he lives in LA and had come here from the Newark airport, like, whatever, I had to, like, leave the game and go say hi, whatever. It's all good. What is one of your favorites or your favorite?
I will say that mine, I have them written down. My favorite episode that we did, and this was really because of the research that both of us ended up doing, was Alfred Hitchcock Hour,
Oh
an
yeah,
unlocked window.
very big on the YouTube as well. People love
And
that episode.
there's good reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
This was, I think, the one where, aside from cursory looks at Wikipedia and IMDb and looking up additional sites, this was something where both of us really looked into TC Jones, the the female impersonator character, as they call
Mm-hmm.
them. Um, we really looked into his life, and that kind of opened the door for what was drag in the 1960s.
Oh
What
yeah.
what was his life like? What
And
were
also
his
getting into
relationships like?
the whole thing about, like, his wife, like, owning a flower shop in the gayest neighborhood of San Francisco, and then her also being, like, a golf champion,
I
and
think she
it
was
maybe
was she a champion fencer?
yeah,
I
it was
can't
something that was just like, y'all are giving me big lavender marriage energy is what.
remember. But then, like, also looking into like his military service
Hmm.
and to like the troops that he was a part of, um in Florida and in New York, and kind of like looking at all that and just kind of building out this sketch of a person, just resurrecting him for just a little while on our podcast. And every time if someone listens to it,
Yeah.
they can resurrect TC Jones again and just kind of pay a little bit of tribute to his memory. I like that. And the episode itself, it's fine. Like,
I liked it.
I liked what we did with it rather
Yeah.
than I think I liked the episode.
Oh, it spooked me. A man in a dress. Oh
A
my
man in a
god.
oh my
Well,
gosh,
not even really a dress. I mean, it was like a homely nurse outfit, which I wouldn't be caught dead.
wasn't fooling anybody.
No, not like me. With my mustache.
The mustache.
I also really love the Dobie Gillis episode that we did.
I thought that was a good
Uh,
episode of Dobie Gillis.
yeah, exactly. Like, and it was the instance of, like, I think some, like, we had a listener suggest it, and, like, I was like, yeah, Adobe Gillis is good, we'll do that. And I think both of us going in with, like, no expectation, because, like, yeah, sure, and then being like, oh, we're met with an existential question that is being seriously pondered in a very meticulously directed episode of television from 60 years ago.
It was too good.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, it had short film energy and less sitcom episode energy. It was smart. And I like smart. Who doesn't like smart?
I will
I'd
say,
ra-
like, so, the holiday season, I rewatch, Christmas episodes, and I rewatched like three of Dobie Gillis's, and if I was, still a writing man at the moment, and if don't need to go into that, but the meds are working, baby. But I would pitch like I actually do think that Gen Z would like Dobie Gillis after watching all those episodes because it has I think the biggest complaint that I think kids or younger people or even just like later generations can have about TV from the 50s and 60s is it's slow. The pace is slow. Like, the jokes aren't all whereas Dobie Gillis, like watching it has a two camera narrator breaking the fourth wall. So very Arrested
yeah.
Development, very Office. And it moves. Like it doesn't have the same slower pace that like a multicam has because they can't cut back and forth as quickly. Like it's edited like a short film. And I also think that like it feels edgy because what they were doing at the time was edgy because teenagers like this just weren't seen on television. And they're
No.
using the modern slang. They are like, they're just it still feels very relatable. And I do think that there's something there.
I'm comparing it to the Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And the Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet was, oh my God, that it's the longest running sitcom in history next to The Simpsons, if you count that as a sitcom. And just the differences between the two, and not just the, and I'd say not just the hip and unhip, which is the easy out. Just the way that you look at the two. One is crisp, one is smart, one is it looks after its characters and really develops them, and the other is very bland. It is very formulaic. It
Drag it.
feels like a radio show set to film. And that's Ozzie and Harriet. I know Ozzie and Harriet has its fans. I actually kind of enjoyed the episode that we
Oh yeah,
watched,
it's a
but
fun show.
compared to Dobie Gillis, it is like Black Hole versus Star Wars.
Which is it still streaming on Disney Plus? I made it 2/3 of the way through the black hole.
I saw it when I was a kid, and I just remember the ending, and I remember nothing really happening during the whole film.
Yeah,
So
there's a
it
red
did,
trash can robot.
yeah, that gets dinged up, and then there's like
Yeah.
other robots that I remember being a lot of talking.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in many, many, many years. That's all.
Not as good as Quark,
Quark was great.
which we also watched this year.
I love that's another thing is that like in doing this, it's easy to say, oh, we'll do I Love Lucy. Oh, we'll do, Who's the Boss? Oh, we'll do, Head of the Class. The ones that everyone remembers. And then just going off on a little tangent and seeing, oh, there was this show called Quark that lasted 8 episodes that was totally based on Star Wars
Yeah,
and weird and has Richard Benjamin, and being able to find like uncover those episodes like archaeologists.
that's what I
And
love.
I love doing that.
I would do stupid shit like that every every episode. I don't know who else would. I do still think that we can talk about this under hopes for 2024, but if we ever had a reason to do exclusive Patreon content, I do think doing like every episode of Bob or every episode of I'm Dickens, He's Finster would be fun.
I would love to do I'm Dickens, He's Fencer. We had such a great time with I'm Dickens,
This
He's
is
Fencer. We
great.
did that last year though. That was last year.
Oh, that might have been like
Was it?
2 years ago. It was a while
Yeah.
ago. Might have been pre-pandemic even. I just saw Marty Ingalls on something recently. It might have been like Laugh-In or something. Oh, also I do think that Laugh-In invented TikTok.
Laugh-In invented TikTok.
When was the last time you watched a Laugh-In episode?
I have never seen a Laugh-In episode.
Oh boy. No, I mean I'll
Hey.
watch it. I watched the Christmas episode this year, and there are probably in an hour-long episode, there are probably 75 sketches. Like, and it is just chucking one-liners, ad libs, like weird slogans that meant something back then. Maybe it's wild. We should do a Laugh-In episode at some point. Um,
Okay, we'll pretend it's a sitcom.
Yeah, well, we can do whatever as long as it was before 2000. Now I think we might both have the same answer for this one.
The
The
wo-
worst classic TV episode of 2023. That was
should we say it at the same time? Life
one, two, 3.
2, 3. Life with
Life with a
Luigi.
Luigi.
Life with Luigi was uh,
Our Vietnam.
it was a black mark on our report card. It was something we had to do, and like archaeology. I'm glad we uncovered it,
Oh yeah.
but also it made me feel really bad watching it, doing the doing the podcast, talking about it, resurrecting it, bringing it back to public consciousness.
It was a weird show, very weird show. But it was an instance of that like radio to TV transition that so many shows made. And some of them, like I Love Lucy, survived.
Right?
Some of them, like Life with Luigi, people were like, ugh. And as we found out, like people were very angry about, is he Irish? About
Yeah, he was Irish.
An Irishman playing an Italian American or an Italian who moved to America.
Yeah,
People were angry about that in the 1950s. So take your woke cancel culture complaint nonsense and put it on a boat, send it out to sea, and just blow it up
because
or
it
something.
was received the same way then as that would be received now.
Yeah. So, and then they did recast him with an Italian actor.
And
And then
it didn't do so well.
it was a bad everything.
So I'm glad that we both agreed on that. I'm glad that we watched it just to be like, the same way that you have to kind of watch something or understand something bad to know that it's bad.
Yeah.
You have to like kind of like dip your toe and be like, oh no, this is hot soup. Don't like this.
Man, maybe I should have like put in a stipulation of like, okay, besides that one, I'm gonna. I
The
mean, Webster was weird. The Webster episode was
Yeah,
uncomfortable because
I
it
just
was like adults just being absolutely convinced that these two like 11-year-olds were definitely going to have sex at a sleepover. The
I didn't
entire
like it
episode is
because
built around that.
yeah, I didn't like it because I just don't like Webster.
Well, also that.
I think that George Papadopoulos and Ma'am are not compelling leads, despite what they told us in their sitcom that they wrote and produced.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Life with Luigi is I don't know. I'm trying to think of anyone that really kind of let me down.
we watched a
Um,
weird episode of Roseanne. We could have gotten a better one.
yeah,
Because it was like it was very disjointed because it was like opens with a good Halloween gag and then it goes into the ventriloquist thing. There's a lot. Roseanne is structurally a very bizarre show.
I think that it was hard to follow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't much care for it. I'm looking back and seeing all the episodes that we did um from this year. I thought the Oh Madeline episode could have been better. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for a gem of a for a show that didn't last long.
we did a lot of really good ones. I gotta
Mhm.
say, like Quark was good, Night Court was good, Just Shoot Me was good, Phil Silver's show was great, Dobie Gillis fantastic, Doris Day show, despite having just these long segments of
Despite
her
just
walking
being
down a
mostly
runway,
mostly a fashion show.
I enjoyed that one. Webster was pretty bad. Monty, I
Bizarre.
bizarre. Um,
Casting Henry Winkler as an unlikable person. Very weird choice.
um, yeah, and even Ozzie and Harriet has its charm.
For a 1950s sitcom, Ozzie and Harriet might be the second best. Because
Yeah,
to me, it's like I Love Lucy, then Ozzie and Harriet, and then all the ones where Dad is always right.
or Dad is always wrong, like Life of Riley. I will always go
Yeah,
back to William Bendix and Life
yeah.
of Riley. Life of Riley.
And we can close it out. This portion of the podcast with best performance of 2023. I will give this. 'Cause I'm trying to get like really because I feel
Fix
like
yourself,
I
tiny
need I
Holland.
need to like just hike my boobs up. Ugh. I'm wearing my big boobs right now.
Today's a big
Um,
boob day.
yeah, just because it's like so I'm just trying to get because I want to give this to my drag forefathers because I don't think I was actually in drag when we talked about the episodes. But must performance of 2023: T.C. Jones and Alfred Hitchcock presents and Charles Ludlam in Oh Madeline. Two female impersonators who paved the way in times that were, I mean, I would say less open than now, but now's pretty scary. So,
Now
but
it's pretty scary.
good on them. Good on them for putting on women's clothes on television in front of everyone to see.
And didn't and that wasn't necessarily the whole gag like it would be with like Monty Python
No, yeah.
or Benny
Like
Hill. Benny Hill.
yeah, like they were both really good performances. I mean, the Alfred Hitchcock one plays onto the whole like she's actually a man.
Ah!
Oh no, like
Right.
terror, which is like problematic, very bad. But it was still like it was an interesting episode that people still talk about. That was so good for TC for getting that paper. And
TC did a great job with that.
yeah, and I really like
Also
Charles Ludlam.
considering that like TC Jones did not do a lot of TV
Yeah,
in general. He was a stage actor. He had
yeah,
Broadway shows. He did a lot of work.
yeah. Like I mostly perform in my home office. He mostly perform in the stage. It's the same thing. And then
And
Charles Ludlam as a romance novelist. It was in a feud with uh, Madeline's husband, who she had to pose for because he was embarrassed to admit he was a romance novelist.
I don't know.
Good.
I maybe there's a better episode of Oh Madeline. I don't know.
I still laughed at that.
There's a
It
lot
still
to
got some gags out of me.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't get the premise of the whole Oh Madeline show.
Oh no, yeah, it's basically Madeline Kahn it's basically the I Love Lucy premise, but I mean,
Yeah.
very weird. Who was your best performance of 2023?
It should not be any surprise. It is of course John Saxon from Streets of San Francisco because it's John Saxon. There is
Wow.
no time where you don't want to be watching John Saxon on TV.
Who
Someone
died in my hometown, as we discovered,
someone now is probably watching a TV show or movie somewhere in the world with John Saxon in it.
with his like rock hard skull face,
Skullface.
but
Ooh.
like, but still sexy. Would still hit it.
And his
Let's be
sexy
honest.
hands. He
Ugh.
started out as a hand model, and now he's
Well,
like ooh,
and that
doing
episode
everything.
was about coin collecting. He
It
was a
was yes.
bisexual coin collecting like criminal with that Michael Douglas and
Carl Malden.
Carl Malden, but had to like track down in the
Yeah.
streets of San Francisco.
But he was still John Saxoning all over San Francisco. He walked into the police station. He's like, "Oh, I can totally help you with this case. I'm John Saxon." Everyone's like, "He's John Saxon. We have to trust him because
Trust
he's
him.
John Saxon." And then like everyone else trusted him because they're like, "Oh, we can't. John Saxon can't be a bad guy." Spoiler, he's usually the bad guy.
Always.
He's rarely not the bad guy. Enter the
Yeah.
Dragon, he wasn't the bad guy. But
Right. Yeah, that's what yeah.
John Saxon. So he was my number one choice, John Saxon.
And
Even
so
if we don't watch a John Saxon episode next year, he's probably still my answer.
I love that the our best performances came from horror anthology, cop drama, and a 8 episode long sitcom run. So, but hey, you know what? We're spotlighting things that y'all probably haven't watched.
Yeah. And hey, I'm not going to say that there weren't other great performances. There were tons of great performances on
Yeah. I
sitcoms.
mean,
Sitcoms had great performances.
by default, we're getting nothing but good performances. Because when
I would
yes.
say that David Krumholtz on Monty as the youngest son on Monty.
Oh yeah,
Loved
he
him in
was
that.
very good. Yes.
Great in that. Um Trying to think of the other stuff. Uh Lucy's performance in the I Love Lucy episode we watched, excellent.
Always great.
Fred Mertz's suit in the same episode,
Always great. Oh,
absolute wonderful. Fred Mertz like William Frawley, not great in the episode. Great suit though.
Always great. I when I'm not dressed like this, I do dress a lot like Fred Mertz.
Fred
So
Mertz,
you're one or the other, baby.
pants up to the nipples. Yeah,
As soon as I discovered wearing high-waisted pants, my life became a lot better. I'm just
or
saying.
more like Mertz.
Yeah.
That's the slogan.
More Mertz.
2024. More like Mertz.
Now let's look ahead
Ooh,
to our most anticipated just whatevers of 2024, starting with the most anticipated TV show of 2024. Um my two very specific choices are X-Men 97, obviously the continuation of the 90s cartoon that is coming to Disney Plus. I'm very excited because it is going to be very cool to be able to see the X-Men cartoon do what it did in the 90s during a time when that's how cartoons are made. Meaning, X-Men, as far as I know, is the first serialized cartoon season. As in, like, every episode of season one is part of a 13 episode whole. Episodes flowed into each one with continuing storyline. I'm sure anime definitely did this, but in terms of
yeah,
like,
yeah,
but like usually if you got G.I. Joe would do like a two-parter or a
yeah.
five-parter.
A five
It
parter.
wasn't every single episode, which caused a whole lot of animation problems because the like, I can't remember the overseas animation companies, well, like if an episode fell behind, that was episode 3. So
Yeah.
whoopsie, even though 4 and 5 are finished, it was a huge risk. They only did it for season 1. For season 2, they did episodic shows and had framing devices of Professor X and Magneto in the Savage Land.
Oh,
And so that is what connected every episode. But they mostly went episodic after that. But now all of these animated shows are serialized. That's
yeah.
how they do them now. So it's going to be super cool to see an X-Men cartoon with like the muscle to actually do what they wanted to do 30 years ago. What's one of yours?
I had two. One that I had written down before, and one that I'm just like, oh, duh, why didn't I remember this? The one that I wrote down before was HBO Max is doing the Penguin series.
Oh yeah.
And if you serve me up virtually anything Batman, I'm going to be tuning in.
How long did you watch Gotham?
Every episode up until the end. I mean, I watched it every single week. I was into it. They filmed the first some of the first episodes by my office, and I could point out one of the alleys that was shot in our building.
Aha.
Yeah, I remember walking past like Catwoman's trailer. Um it was pretty cool. But the other one that I'd forgotten about was the new Doctor Who season with Judy
Oh
Gatwa.
yeah.
Um, I saw the three specials with David Tennant. I saw the Christmas special with Judy. Looking forward to the new season coming to BBC and Disney Plus in May. They announced it, I want to say like 3 or 4 days ago.
And Disney Plus, they just gobbling everything up.
They need content. Everybody needs content. Just I don't know. So I am looking forward to that. I really enjoyed what they did with the specials. I enjoyed the Christmas special a whole lot. Megan and I are going back and watching from the Christopher Eccleston seasons onward,
Yeah.
which are, they're quaint, they're fun. The CGI is
I got to
abysmal.
them farting aliens, and I was like, I'm gonna watch Friday Night Lights.
That's like the third episode.
I made
Martin
it through.
Aliens is like fourth
I
episode.
think I made it through like halfway through Tennant's first season, and then I got distracted. Um, the other TV show that I am excited for in 2024 is RuPaul's Drag Race Global All Stars.
Ooh.
I'm not talking All Stars. I'm not talking UK versus the world. For some reason, we're not having a third All Star, but this is apparently hosted by RuPaul, I do believe. I mean, it's still a mystery, which is why I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
But if the rumored cast is to be believed, it's going to be a lot of it's basically one queen from every international franchise. So you got like, I mean, I'm assuming they all speak English. I have no idea because they got like Philippines, Sweden, Brazil, Mexico, like it's America. It's yeah, it's gonna be wild.
So
And it's
there are a
one of
couple unknowns. The
yeah,
language is unknown. How are they going to do it? You know?
it's gonna be one of about 30 new seasons of Drag Race next year. Anyway, most anticipated movie of 2024.
This one was hard because I know that a lot of things that were supposed to come out are not coming out. So I did
Or
have
like
to,
removed, right? Like Craven. So
yeah,
Craven.
or stuff. Yeah, it was
So
definitely
Craven's your
Craven.
choice.
No, it wasn't Craven. I probably won't see Craven. And it's not Madam Web, and it's not
Uh,
Venom 3, and it's
but
not
her mother was bitten or studying spiders or something.
it's a whole thing. No, I there were two that looked interesting. And I think the one that I definitely am saying yes, I want to see this is the sequel to Dune.
Oh
Dune
yeah, okay.
2, more Dune. Um,
Too fast,
because
too soon.
I enjoyed the first Dune original flavor Dune. Um, more than I thought I would.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm interested to see how they kind of like progress the story. The other one I'm kind of interested in is Argyle.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah,
I just Instagram served me just like the poster, and I was like, all these people from
look
Matthew
at
Vaughn?
look at this
Absolutely.
cast. So
Wait,
it's a
who is the cast? Why was I excited about this again?
it was I mean Henry Cavill's the big
Oh,
one, Sam
oh,
Rockwell's in it,
was it
Catherine
Jason
O'Hara,
Statham? Catherine O'Hara, yeah.
um Bryce Dallas Howard,
But it's like a
Peter
murder
Lupul.
mystery. It looks very Knives Outy, which is very much my jam.
I think that from what I gather, it's a crime writer. It writes books about this fictional character, and then she discovers that everything that she's been writing has been coming true in the real world. And there is a spy organization, this criminal organization. I think it's Criminal
Mhm.
Spies, and they want her to keep writing these books so they can keep doing what they're doing. Something like that. That's what I got from the trailer.
Perfect.
I'll see it at the Alamo. Hopefully the Alamo has it in Yonkers. But what I would say, what movie did you like most in 2023 before we go into
Oh,
your 2024 movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I mean, I
Uh,
also didn't see many movies, but like the amount that I cried and the amount that that movie reached into my soul and made me spit up feelings everywhere.
Made you weep.
No contest.
I would say mine was probably Barbie.
Yeah, I don't like Barbie too, and I liked Oppenheimer. Those in the Marvels might be the only movies I saw in the theater this year. It was
Did you see Disturbance in the Force?
yes, it was
The
fun.
the yeah, the documentary
Holiday
about this,
special.
yeah, the Star Wars holiday special. Um yeah, I thought that was pretty good. But anyway,
My most anticipated movie of 2024, which again I did not look at what's coming out. I just went off of just gut is, I mean, Deadpool 3 only because I don't give a fuck about Deadpool. I give a fuck about the X-Men and Marvel Studios doing the X-Men and Hugh Jackman finally, after 20 years, wearing a Wolverine costume. I'm very excited to see him wear the mask. And then all of the like set photo leaks look insane.
I've stopped
Just
looking at them. I've
yeah,
stopped looking at the
it's
set photo leaks. I don't want to be
absolutely
spoiled.
nuts. All the stuff that is in there is like this is preposterous, and I am very excited to see what
Look,
happens.
surprise me. Sure,
Mhm.
I don't want the spoilers anymore. You could have Peter Sellers and Orson Welles and Bobby Driscoll in there, and I just want to see the film when it comes out. It's
Mhm.
the only Marvel film that's non-Spider-Man coming out next year. So that's
God.
yeah. They got a couple
I,
series coming out, but a lot of their series moved to 2025 as well. Like I think Ironheart got moved.
which was supposed to come out this year. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Whatever.
What's okay? What's your most anticipated book of 2024?
Mine?
Make
Because
your
I
book a
don't
reality.
read.
Make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming out because I don't read. I buy books, but then I don't read them. But I do need to work on mine because every time that I start researching, I always discover something like super fun. I The one day of research I've done during mental health leave, I found a quote from a soldier that did drag in World War II, and this is the army. And then I went on Ancestry, found his closest living relative, and then I got to interview them.
Ooh,
And like, you know, just I love that like stuff like that happens.
yeah.
And I love feeling like a little sleuth doing you know, ancestry sleuthing and whatnot. So
Well, you posted that picture of Burl Ives
yeah.
in drag on your
Hmm.
Instagram, which I was just like, that's Burl Ives
Yeah.
in drag.
Yeah, he did it. That was part of his World War II service.
Yeah.
What's your most anticipated book?
See, I have to be a nerd about it because, like, in addition to being an advertising writer, in addition to being a pop culture podcaster, in addition to being a comic book collector, I'm also I'm multiple graduate students. I'm a graduate student in theology at St. John's University, and I've been really getting into a lot of that reading, religious studies kind of stuff, the non-canonical things, the
Yeah.
weird stuff that didn't make the Bible, or stuff that was written like 500 years later that people tried to pass off as like it was really from the Bible and it was just left out. And there's a book coming out by Tom DeBruin called Fan Fiction and Early Christian Writings,
Ooh.
which looks at these books that they were non-canonical, not really scripture, and looks at them and it's like, look, this is the same thing that people are doing with Harry Potter and Supernatural. This is, self-insert character, I'm Jesus's new best friend, that kind of stuff. So the plus side is it's coming out next year. The downside is it's really expensive.
Eh.
So my strategy is this year I went to the Society for Biblical Literature conference in San Antonio, had a blast, sat in tons of panels that talked about the very thing that I'm excited about, fan fiction. Um, there there was a fantastic presentation by Acacia Chan about fan fiction and a gospel that I'd never heard of before, and she goes through what is fan fiction, where did it start, like that kind of stuff, and I'm just
Ah.
like, oh my god, it's so great. She's the one who turned me on to this book. So the thing that happens at these conventions is all the big academic publishers have booths just like Comic Con,
Oh wow, yeah.
and then they offer all of their books at like a 30 to 50% discount. And not only do they offer the books at that discount at the event, but if you go to their website afterwards and you were attended this conference, you have all the passwords and everything and the codes to get these after the convention. So that's
Life
my goal.
hack. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheaper books, make academia accessible to everybody. I just totally nerded out on a book that I haven't read about something that probably interests a fraction of you listening. But thank you for humoring the old mad scholar.
Well, and then on the same token, most anticipated comic of 2024, which I gotta read 2023's all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the return of the X-Men, I'm very much excited for.
Yeah.
If you don't know, yeah, the X-Men have been members of a sex/death cult on a living island for the past 3.5 years, and the notoriously dysfunctional X-Men who can't agree on anything somehow were like, well, we all totally agree with Professor X, uh, without our consent, saving backups of all of our brains and memories on a hard drive. And he's been doing this forever. Ha 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 ha. And we
You and
also
I
all agree with murdering children in a gladiatorial combat. We're all fine with this for some fucking reason.
you and I disagree on this because I've enjoyed those books
Fuck
more than
all
I
of them.
enjoyed the X-Men prior to this.
Well, I mean, and the X-Men books have been bad for, I mean, not bad, but just they were the samey for about 15 years.
Yeah, they
And
weren't.
then they made them to the Inhumans, and I lost interest. Mainly, yeah, just all the characterizations all seemed completely bizarre, which to me is missing ripe storytelling thing of like, maybe Storm wouldn't be cool with any of this. And therefore, isn't it an interesting storyline to have like Storm being like, I do not want a part of your weird murder death cult. I will be over here. Like, no, for some reason, literally every single mutant on Earth agreed. All of them.
Yeah.
I would not want to live on Krakoa just because everything is made out of plants for some fucking reason. I don't want my plates to be made out of plants. Like, I don't want my house to be made out of plants. I don't like plants. I'm allergic to a lot of plants.
I want everything to be made of plants. That means that we're not destroying the environment making
Ugh.
plastics. Bricks made out of plants, great. Make
So
them
I'm
out of
like,
plants.
it was just a for the X-Men, it strained my credibility or my belief. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens under a new editorial team.
Yeah, Tom Brevoort is he the
Yeah.
one? Yeah, he's coming on to do it.
Longtime Avengers, then longtime Fantastic Four, now
Yeah.
X-Men.
For me, usually, you ask me 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say something DC, and I'm looking to everything forward to everything that's coming out from DC. Like, love it. But the return of the Ultimate Universe and in Marvel, I'm
What
looking
is
forward to
going
that.
on? What's
They're just
going on?
relaunching it. They did a
With all
bridge
the
series.
continuity?
No, with not the
Okay.
continuity. They're doing
Thank,
they're starting from scratch.
thank Christ.
Peter Parker is back, married to Mary Jane, has a kid.
Wait,
We're
so
navigating
it's
we're
wait, so
navigating that.
it's a new universe that has a lot of continuity that we haven't seen.
I don't know.
Oh God.
It
It's
hasn't
okay.
launched yet.
You know what?
So
Is fun. I'll read them digitally 3 months after they're published.
they've announced Spider-Man, Black Panther, X-Men, a fourth one. I don't know. They've announced those three at least. My memory not so good. It late in year.
And
Um,
lastly, let's look forward to the podcast in 2024. Is there a classic TV show that you most want to cover in 2024?
there are a lot of those little niche shows that have been like, oh, wouldn't it be great? But the one that we've talked about so many times, because it touches on so much stuff that we haven't done, is Make Room for Daddy.
Oh yeah.
And I always say the same thing, that I remember watching it as a kid and not finding it funny. But it's the show that launched Andy Griffith's show. It's the show that launched That Girl. It's the Danny Thomas
Yeah.
living life large with his family. So I don't know. I'm interested in doing one of those episodes. Doesn't have to be part of a theme month or anything like that. It's just going back to a show that I know that I've maligned on our podcast a couple times and just want to give it a fair shake.
Well, my answer this year is the same as my answer last year.
Oh,
I
we
just
didn't do it.
forgot. I just forgot. Hogan's Heroes, baby.
Oh, Hogan's Heroes.
Just keep for I held up the DVD box set, which I got a year ago, and I have watched half of season 1. Here's a New Year's resolution for you. Actually watch the things that I get.
We can talk about the movie Autofocus that talks about his murder.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Hogan's Heroes is just a Pandora's box. The show itself, set
It's a
during World War II, where
World War
Nazis
II.
are basically the
It's a prison camp
yeah.
show.
Yeah,
Starring Richard Dawkins. Not Richard.
Richard Dawson.
Dog Dawson.
I mean, hot men. I mean, Bob Crane, one of the sexiest men in all of television history. Richard Dawson, part of my gay awakening. Absolutely.
I bet if
love
you
the
look
guy.
online, you can probably find pictures of Bob Crane's penis.
Oh, I don't know. Oh boy.
I mean, I've seen it.
Oh God.
Yeah, he when he
He
was
made
doing his
porn.
whole
I mean,
no, yeah,
he
when he
made
was doing his whole like
unconsensual.
yeah, exactly, when he was having sex with everyone who would say yes, he took pictures and videos, and it's all around, it's all online.
Oof.
I'm not going to look it up right now because this is my work
That's
computer.
Instagram content. Other podcast. Oh, I know. Oh, no. Podcast resolutions.
What's your podcast resolution,
I
Barb?
mean, we could do more episodes. 3 a month. I'm not making any
Ooh.
promises,
We
but
hit 2 per month. And I think that's pretty good, but we can try for more. I mean, mine is I'd like to try to get the episodes a little shorter.
oh wow, I could go for longer.
I mean, we can both go for longer, but I
Nah.
know that when if you're looking through podcasts and you see one that's as long as some of these podcasts go that we do, it's a little
I mean,
challenging. I understand.
there's that Cerebro X-Men podcast where they release like 7-hour episodes
Ooh.
about like destiny. It's like we have so and so on to talk about Sage for 8 hours. I mean, I haven't listened to it. I love the X-Men. That's too much.
The podcasts that I do listen to, I will listen to Retro WDW, which is a Disney history podcast that does once a month, and it's about 2 hours.
Okay.
And then that works for me. Apocryphals, which is a religious podcast, biblical studies podcast, very funny. They do about what we do, which is about an hour 20, hour and a half. But a lot of the other ones I listen to are a little bit shorter, and I don't know. Let us know if the length of our episodes has been a barrier to you. Let us know in the
Well,
comments.
I think if we move Must Have Now TV to a YouTube exclusive, that uh
Ah,
takes out like, 5-10 minutes. That's
or a Patreon exclusive.
yeah. Well,
We could
yeah,
do
which
a
is another
Patreon.
resolution. If anyone would ever pay, if anyone would be up for paying for anything, and I'm just saying, if people paid for things, I would hire an editor, and we would absolutely have edited episodes again.
Yeah, I think
That would be good.
that would
So
be an interesting goal. Let's get a maybe we get a Patreon off the ground. We've talked about it, not on the show, but we've definitely talked about it, and that the money goes towards an editor to trim out some of the uhs and
yeah,
add a theme song,
yeah,
and trim our work down a little bit.
because that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah.
And I guess personal resolutions.
I want to be more present in my life. And it's a real thing. It's just
Oh yeah.
be present in my relationships, be present in my work, be present with my family, um, and not just keep drifting off and saying, I'm going to read for a while, or I'm going to curl up and just ignore life for a while. That's one thing that I
Hmm.
want to do for this year. That's a personal resolution, is be more present. But
Uh
yours might differ.
oh my god. No, I wish I had actually ah so my husband got me this Dolly Parton Behind the Seams, which is the history of all of her wardrobe. It's like
Okay.
just her like style and stuff. Oh god. Oh, and I can't flip pages in a uh because there was a quote in here that I looked at on Christmas morning when I was flipping through it, and it almost made me just start crying just out of nowhere, which said would have been like, why are you crying on the couch looking at a Dolly Parton book? Um and
That should be an understandable cry, though.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I am a gay man dressed as a woman, so obviously I cry about Dolly Parton. But God damn it, it's a perfect quote, and it's in big bold. So
You're looking through it right
if
now.
I can just
Find that
flip
big quote.
through, uh, because it's been ringing in my head along with, and I'm also wearing nails, which makes flipping very hard. I did not think ahead. You know what? It's fine. Okay, here it is.
Oh,
Uh, so oh god. So as Dolly says, when I turned 40, it was like a switch clicked on. I'd always known what I wanted, but now I knew what to do to get it.
ooh.
So I turned 40 this year.
You turned
and
40 this year.
and I think that I will turn July. I think that a lot of the confidence in that quote of like I've always known what I wanted, but now I know how to get it is like trusting my instincts. A lot of the
Hmm.
time, I know exactly what I want to do, but I second guess myself, thinking like, Well, how I think I need to do that probably isn't the way. I need to well, a lot of second guessing, no trust. And I think I need to tell myself, no, I know what I need to do in order to get it. Like send the emails, ask for help, um, take a leap. I mean, I'm look at me. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of learning and growing in drag. So I would like to just, keep uh keep doing that, and also giving myself permission to be happy is also a
Yeah.
fun hard thing
Give
to do.
yourself a little bit of grace. I think
Yeah.
that's something that's very lacking in just a lot of our lives, is that we don't give ourselves enough grace to make mistakes, to breathe. Definitely our work relationships don't give us enough grace to make mistakes and be ourselves and breathe. Um so when you have that opportunity, I just recommend that to everybody, is let yourself make mistakes, let yourself breathe, give yourself a little bit of extra space when you need it. And that's something I'm going to try to do this in 2024 and hopefully beyond, is to kind of give myself that
Mm-hmm.
the grace is just the best word. It's the word my therapist used. And it's just like, yeah, all too often we don't give ourselves that space. Everything has to be right. Everything has to be perfect. We have to be performing all the time at our best. And just, we don't give ourselves enough chance to be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I, I, I'm allowed to mess up every now and then.
I deserve to be happy. I don't need to be hard on myself. Everything is fine. I don't need to be freaking out. Etc. So fuck you, 2023.
Yeah, let's get this in the rear view. We're
Yeah.
recording this on the 30th of December, and tomorrow is going to be the last day of 2023. Let's wash our hands of it, say goodbye, sayonara, see you later, arrivederci, and then we start over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get a haircut. I'm going to get a haircut. How about that?
Oh, I need one of those too.
Yeah, I need one of those badly.
So, where can people find you if they want to congratulate you on another year?
Don't look for me on Blue Sky. I stopped using that. I'm just on Instagram.
Jesus.
Ethan
Yeah.
K55 at Instagram or whatever it is Instagram. How
Oh,
about you,
uh,
Barb?
uh, I am still using Blue Sky almost exclusively.
Ooh,
Because yeah.
and Instagram.
No, yeah, but just I'm not. I look at Twitter every now and then, but I maybe tweeted like twice in the past month. I have bad associations. I don't need that. So Blue Sky is where I'm doing some stuff, but mostly Instagram. Follow me at Brett White. Follow me in drag at Barb Hardly, please, and
Please.
also subscribe to Barb's YouTube channel where I'm just posting all sorts of random stuff. And hey, I got a green screen, so I put myself on the Starship Enterprise and in Hart Mansion yesterday, so you can see that video.
I saw
Uh,
that. Um,
uh,
and we encourage everyone to have a great 2024, a great end of 2023, and reach out to us. Email,
must have seen
comment.
TV at gmail.com. And yeah,
Yeah.
let us know what you want us to watch because, we'll do it.
Yeah, we've done it. We've done it before.
If it ain't stupid, we'll do it. Sorry. Just
And even if it's a
kidding.
little
Yeah.
niche like TV show,
Oh,
you're
we
like,
go niche.
yeah,
We
Quark
did
lasted
Quark.
like 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Monty lasted less than that.
My podcast resolution: do TV shows that lasted less episodes than Quark and Monty.
Oh,
2, 3. Let's go for those.
forgotten, barely a pilot kind
Yeah.
of things. Oh, you're gonna hate this podcast,
Generation
people.
X, 1994 pilot. Do that.
That was a
Uh,
special.
it was original. Well, yeah, it was a special that they tried to make backdoor pilot. Despite my dreams, never happened. Anyway, well, we love all y'all. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks to Acast for
Bye.
hosting.
Thanks, everything. I'm still missing a nail.